I think that's better. What's up, Jay Henny? What's going on? So I think we got another not much, man. Just work. The new place is great. It's really big. It's massive. A lot to do. A lot to deal with. Now I'm worrying about lawn and snow. Never had to worry about that before. Security. I never had to worry about that before. I need to get cameras, etc. So that's where I'm with the new yard. It's a lot of work. I'm all moved in finally, but I'm probably 45-50% of where I need to be. It's just probably a couple of months of tuning in the right things to get it right. And that's it. Yep, the same, more money, more problems. So we're late. I don't know where he is. So I'm gonna call it in a couple of minutes, 5:15. And I think I was 100% clear on the time on this one. I mean, I post continuously, so, I don't, there's sometimes a time confusion, but the post is always correct. So our furniture, thank you, my pleasure. This morning didn't happen because we had a time confusion, but that's a pretty good one. So I'll post, I've been talking to him, so we'll see. And now, I don't know where he is, but, it is what it is. So 1 minute and we're gonna shut it down. The yard. The yard. It was just that the yard is good. A lot of work. A lot of work. Way more than I imagined. A lot of work. The farm is going well. And my thing with the farm is I didn't know enough. I was ambitious. I jumped in. I did it. I learned a lot. So much I didn't know. So much I didn't know. And it's mainly with soil preparation. I thought the soil was fine. Garlic grew great. I put a bunch of wood chips in as mulch. And they weren't strong enough. I'm sorry, not wood chips, sawdust. The sawdust didn't really act as a mulch because it wasn't heavy or strong enough to deter weeds. So I tilled it in. Too much carbon. And that prevented the plant from getting big and producing a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables. Yes, Derek, I'd love to talk to your dad about it. Okay, so we're at 416. I'm at 516, and I'm going to call it. Tell him, Derek, he's welcome to come up at any time and get to work. So, okay, so here he is. So we're going to bring him in. All right.
Hey guys.
What's up, man?
Sorry, a confused individual here constantly. How are you guys? How are you, man? Good to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for joining.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. I'm actually at a one of the other studios I work at currently, so I'm got everything set up and ready to go now.
Cool. Um, so conversation. We could get like a little tour of what you're working on.
I'm actually at Chihuly Inc. Actually right now. I'm actually not at my studio currently, but I do on Instagram. There's some pictures of my studio. You can see, and yeah, and then obviously the work is on there as well.
No problem. So first, give us a quick introduction of you and your name, where you're located, and then we'll get into some questions about you and your process, and then
Mm-hmm.
we'll about your.
Okay, my name's Jason Christian. Obviously, I was born and raised here in the Pacific Northwest Seattle area. I was born on a little island northwest of the city called Whidbey Island, in a little town called Coupeville. And at a young age of 17, I moved into the city, and I was in a punk rock band at the time. You know, played drums, and we played a little bit of ska too. That was the time and era.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Oh,
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause on your journey. That's gonna be
okay.
so.
Oh, now you're cutting out. Okay, now you're back.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna go through a series of questions, and then I'm gonna give you the floor, and you can tell us about your journey.
Okay.
All right. What irks you the most?
What? I'm sorry. What?
What irks you the most?
People with talent that are lazy.
What sound makes you happiest?
My baby boy's voice. Gotta say that.
How old is he?
He's almost a year and 9 days.
Okay. My boy's voice doesn't always make me happy. He's sweet.
How old's your boy?
23.
All right. Yeah. I get it.
But you know, sometimes when he calls me, I got. What sound bothers you the most?
What? Not what? I'm sorry.
What sound bothers you the most?
I guess breaking glass. Yeah, I mean, pretty easy one. Yeah.
What is your favorite cuss word?
Shit.
Right. What profession other than your own would you like to try?
I thought about that a lot. I'd like to be a
firefighter.
Yeah.
All right. Why is that?
I guess I've always been attracted to the flame, to the fire. I mean, that's what attracted me to this crazy profession. Uh, yeah, and there's something physical and cool about that, and kind of being a hero. I mean, that's a pretty cool thing.
All right. What would you want on your tombstone?
He lived a full life to the best that he could.
All right. What is it about your personality that drives your business?
Perseverance. Perseverance.
What is it about your personality that hinders your business?
Maybe temper.
What is the one thing you would change about your significant other or spouse?
Change about my partner?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely nothing. She's listening. Are you kidding me? You want to get me in trouble? Absolutely nothing. She's perfect. What are you talking about?
What would she change about you?
To enjoy it more, to enjoy the journey more, to be able to detach from the little things and enjoy it more, because it's going by fast.
It does.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think about that a lot when I say life is short. When you think of the big picture of existence, we're only here for a short time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Farts in the wind.
Literally. What is your most favorite thing to do?
It's creating. My favorite thing to do is creating, not just in this medium. It could be a drawing. When it all, something that you've had in mind, a vision you've had in your mind and you've thought about for a long time, and you finally get to play it out, and it kind of it comes together, just like how you envisioned it. That's my fulfillment.
What's your least favorite thing to do?
Man, least favorite. I mean, I enjoy the grind, that part of the process as well. I think my least favorite thing is overthinking. Is just not doing anything. Is just being idle, and not doing anything.
What word or phrase would you overuse? Do you overuse them?
You know what I mean?
Who would you travel cross country with on a motorcycle?
Who would I want to?
Who would you travel cross country with on a
motorcycle? That's a good question. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I'm gonna say my wife.
Okay. If you were invited to a card game and it could possibly be a fight, who would you bring with you?
I bring my buddy Dan Friday.
Not your wife.
No. No, not to that one. No. Although she could kick some ass. That's true.
In those situations, it's not always the biggest person. It's the person you know will have your back if it goes down.
Not the biggest dog in the fight, right? The dog. Yeah, right.
What was your favorite concert?
Oh man. The Israel Vibration. I went and saw those guys probably about 9 years ago, and I don't know if you know much about those guys. They both have polio,
Wow.
and they're a reggae band, and they're up on stage, and they just rock it. They just rock it. They just rock it.
And what's
Israel Vibration.
okay? All right, I'll check them out. Did you have any childhood nicknames?
Uh, I always got the JC pennies.
When was the last time you cried?
Ooh, probably about a month and a half ago. Hit the wall. Yep, I did. Yep.
Mentally.
Mentally, yeah. And I couldn't hold them back.
You gotta let them go.
Yeah, you gotta let them go.
You let them go and then keep it moving.
Yep, yep.
What impact do you want to leave on your industry?
Just a willingness to share information and pass down what I can.
Who in your industry inspires you?
I'm gonna have to say Lino Tagliapetra. He was a definite.
He's amazing.
Yeah, and mentor and teacher, and yeah, I've learned so much from him, and not just like information, just a way of living and a way of being a craftsperson, and taking care of my body and my mind, and yeah.
Okay. What was the most difficult time for your business and how did you overcome it?
I mean, this past year has been pretty tricky. I think, though, the housing market crisis thing, for me, the timing of that was the most difficult. I had the market enabled me to get a house because they were giving out those screwy loans, but then when it all folded, I was left with like I had lost my job. There was no money to be. People weren't ordering things, and so that was a tricky time. This last thing has been pretty tricky and still is, but for that one, in the timing of my life, it hit me a little harder. I'm sorry.
How did you overcome it?
Perseverance. I just kept showing up every day, no matter if I had things to do, and every rock I could turn over to see if I could make something or move forward. I did that.
Okay. Do you have any black friends?
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you often see people of color in your industry?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. More and more so now.
Who would you most like to have a conversation with?
I think Elon Musk right now. I would.
Would you travel to the moon?
we'll see. Right.
So would you go if you had the opportunity right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What was your best business move?
It's something that I do continuously, just reinvest in myself, continually reinvest.
What was your worst business move?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I mean, everything that's all in hindsight, opportunity, maybe an opportunity that I didn't take advantage of, or
Fear?
yeah, Yeah. 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 Maybe something like that. Maybe not here. Maybe not quitting my 9 to 5 yet. That's the worst business decision I've made so far.
Do you still have a 9 to 5?
I
Or
do a part-time 9 to 5, 3 days a week.
when I've been doing it for 14 years, and at the time I had a part-time nine. I was at Four Seasons Hotel for 20 years.
Damn.
I went down to 2 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
and 2 days a week was too much. And when I realized that I can't do the 2 days a week, that's when I knew I had to quit. It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot because it was a great paying job, great benefits. I get to travel all over the world, Four Seasons. But my dream was calling.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, and then at that point, no distraction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is hard to leave that knowing that you're going to have a check in the mail every 2 weeks. That's for sure. And the health benefits too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many U.S. cities have you traveled to?
Quite a few.
Have you been there?
No.
Have you been to more than 25?
Yes. Yep.
Do you own a passport?
Yes.
When was the last time you wore a tie?
That's a good one. That's a real good one. I'm not a tie guy, man. I guess I I wore a tie at Lino's birthday 2 years ago.
Of course.
Was that 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yep. I did. And there's a picture of me somewhere floating around on the internet.
Okay, so we're done with the questions. So now we'd like to get into your journey, probably starting from high school, and tell us what impacted your life, how it directed you to where you are now.
Okay. So going back to high school, so I grew up here in the Pac Northwest. My parents split at a very young age. My dad sent me out to live with my mom in Virginia, actually, for my high school years.
How old were you?
When I moved out there, I was almost 14. So it was from the 8th grade to 12th grade. I lived in Virginia.
What relationship with your dad?
It's good. It's good now. Yeah, I mean,
what was it then?
Hard. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah, I pretty humble beginnings. My dad, drives a tow truck, and so he was trying to support, himself, working all the time, and raise a kid. So now being a father, I can see how maybe that connection could get lost or shuffled around,
I being a father, nor my dad, nor my grandfather, father-son relationships are hard, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it has to do with men not being taught to be softer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or soft, whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to your wife or your girlfriend, and you're in an argument, you can pause and be like, okay, or male like that, for some reason, you can't pull that part of your personality out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I have a difference. Have a difference. I to get here because the purpose is not to be confrontational; it's to be resolutional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have two guys who are strong-willed. Oh, they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
um,
Yep.
get into the resolution zone because again, nobody wants to be the weaker one. Nobody wants to give.
No, no. Everyone wants to be the alpha. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. And it's from a, yeah, absolutely. I agree. Yeah. 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 And yeah. So you pretty much nailed it. I mean, yeah. Yeah. And so, and then growing up now, you kind of understand that.
Virginia to live with your mom.
Hmm. And yeah, went through high school. Man, had a hard time with school. I
Now,
just
okay, let me tell you, I'm 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 interested in this part because we, we all got a story to tell, right?
hmm
Question is how what is your story?
hmm
My dad wasn't there.
hmm
Um, I was in special ed from third to the ninth grade and then switched over to a private school. So
hmm
I'm trying to get into how you psychologically and what that emotion moved
hmm hmm
you. So, you with your mom, what was that relationship like?
Well, that was interesting too, because she kind of left at a young age and disappeared for a while, and so we had a lot of healing to do. And I knew needed that nurturing. Um,
At
and
age,
it wasn't something that uh, it was something that I felt, and maybe me acting out like that was a way to force the issue to maybe be out there. So I did, and I moved out there, and the same thing as I had ADD, dyslexic, had issues with learning and having that stuff slammed down my throat, and I just school was difficult for me. Although math and everything I could excel, sciences I'm very good at, and but I just had a hard time falling in line as far as that goes.
so in high school, do you have any hobbies?
I played sports, did really well in sports. I played football. I played, I was the captain of the team, my senior year. I wrestled. Uh,
All aggressive sports.
yeah. Get it, get all that energy out. Yeah. And then, in my I did art, all my art classes I did really well, and so then I would like sign up, and they were easy for me, like it just came easy, and so I would sign up for all those classes, those electives, just because it was easy for me, and I knew I could get an easy grade, um, and yeah.
Okay, so after high school and football, then what?
Yeah, and then I moved back out here to Seattle.
We
Um, what's that? No, no, no. I was on my own. No, from the age of 18, I lived on my own from there on out. Had some tough times with some substances and alcohol, and kind of hit rock bottom with that stuff uh, at the age of 21, and got things figured out a bit. What's that?
21 is better than when you're 31.
Yeah, you got that right. Got a lot of friends right now that, uh, yeah. So I kind of got some stuff figured out, and I was, like I said, in a band and doing odds and ends jobs, construction, driving a delivery truck, anything I could make some money. And my mom at the time, we were conversating, and she was like, there's some glass studios out there. It's, right now is like, it's really big deal out there. You should check it out. And so that week I went into a studio and I saw this guy making some glass flowers, and I was like, that's it, man. That's what I want to do.
Wow.
And so that day went down, I talked to the people there. I was like, where can I get a job doing this? And they're like, oh God, this is another guy like this, crazy guy like this. And they're like, okay, go down to this factory, and they're looking for help. And this one particular factory called the Glass Eye Studio here in Seattle, where, they constantly turning over people doing the charging job, where you scoop the glass into the furnace and melt the glass. So I walked up, I'm sorry, 21, approaching 22 at the time.
Okay. So you get a job there.
Yeah, got a job there. And I was psyched. I was so psyched. I'm left alone with all these furnaces, and I could mess around, and I didn't know how to manipulate the glass or anything. But I was psyched. I could mess around with the glass, and I could see all the workers show up early. And so then I in Seattle at that time, there were so many studios just rolling. And so I would ride my bike. I lived in a apartment. I had a room. I paid $300 with the utilities, everything, a month. And I would just ride my bike all around town and just,
That sounds like.
Oh, it was. It definitely was. I mean, those were the days for sure. And I would just roll in, and if they were making something cool, I would just hang out and watch. And then, you're hanging out. Hey, buddy, you want to grab that thing? You grab this thing? Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's how I got my start.
So how long did you freelance like that?
Long time. I'd say close to 12, 13 years.
Wow. Okay. So you freelance like that. At what point did you start getting paid?
Oh, I got paid probably after the third. I had that job working at the Glass Eye, and so I was getting paid that, but I wasn't blowing glass. So it took a couple years where, I would just come in and mess around and help out before people started. Then they would call me. They'd call me for the help. They'd be like, hey, can you show up and, turn the pipe or gather the glass, roll in the color, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay, so we're 2-3 years in. Now, from the help, when did you start to learn and think, okay, I can make my own stuff now?
I had a desire to make my own stuff from the first time I saw it. So, but where did I feel comfortable to be able to say, okay, now I got the skill to be able to create something? Man, this craft, in any craft, it takes forever. And that confidence is such to be able to get over that hump of the confidence to say that, you know what, I do have the skill to be able to make that. that's more, it's more about that than anything. So I'd say probably about year 8, where I like was feeling like confident, or feeling a little bit confident to say like I can make something to be able to show people.
So year 8, how much time actually put in? Those
I was working 6-7 days a week, going from, if I wasn't working 8 hours, I'm working 12 hours, going from my 9 to 5, going over to the studio down the street because they're working tonight, and trying to see what they're doing and if I can hang out there. So
always
lots and lots. That thousand, what is it? They say 10,000 hours or something. I surpassed that. I went around the moon 10 times on that for sure.
and I guess there's a plus to that because you learn.
My wife she just wrote, still doing 6 to 7 days a week.
All that.
Okay, sorry. What was the question again?
So that was a plus because the time you put in, you were able to hone your craft.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, and not only that is to, and I'm still finding this out, is like to get in touch with, what I want to make, what's behind the work, what's behind the piece you make.
And what objects are you most driven toward?
In my own work or just in general?
Your own work.
Man, that changes. That's like a flavor of ice cream. It changes day to day. I lately, I think the Phoenix right now, I've been really, really, really. I can't wait to make another one. It, with making things, sometimes you got to pay the bills, and so the opportunity to get to do what you want to do, sometimes it gets pushed back like weeks, months, so yeah, the Phoenix right now, I'm really looking forward to developing that and making more of those.
What has been your most challenging project you've taken on?
I'm currently working on a pretty challenging project. I make these yo-yos, and we're putting them in a massive hanging sculpture, and so it's been pretty tricky trying to figure out that process, and it's something I'm blind to, and so I'm learning a lot, and I'm making a lot of mistakes. So that's been a challenge, but a good challenge that I'm up for.
Right. Ultimately, what is it you want to do? What's the big picture?
I think, I'm sure like you is have that freedom to be able to create, what my vision is that being able to say, man, I really want to make that. I've been thinking about that for a long time, and not have to go through all the other stuff to be able to get there. Just be able to walk in and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and have carte blanche, I get, you know, the finances and stuff like that to be able to do it, you know.
Yeah, that's that's pretty nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. And I mean, even Lino, I mean, he, you know, I worked for him for a while, and just seeing him, he had to like go jump through the hoops to be able to like make what he wanted to finally do, you know, at some point.
there's something in your industry you have not done that you want to get into?
Um, yeah, I'd like to be able to show more museums and be taken to be able to show a little more like that. Um, uh, and that's just developing the stories behind the work, I feel like. And I've been crunching and on that a lot lately. Um, Not a easy thing, especially like being a poor writer that I am. I heavily depend on my my partner to be able to get those words across and figure that out.
Let me pause you. I'm not a great writer either,
Hmm.
and I'm writing all.
Hmm.
And people are often correcting me. You know, I'm
Hmm.
dyslexic, I got EDD, but I can't let that, and I'm not grammatically astute. So I can't let that prevent me from doing what I want to do. But you can send that to someone to edit.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Put it all on paper and be like, hey, can you fix this? And send it back.
Hmm.
And that's the resources is what you want to be able to have to make it happen.
Hmm.
So I think that doing that, that you should just put a package together or something and just send it out to a bunch of people.
Hmm.
Of course, after it's been proofread.
Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're
um,
right.
because on my end, I've had, I've been covered on TV, magazines, and I've never been covered by any black media.
Hmm.
And I'm kind of like the only dude, the only black guy that does what I do on the level that I do.
Hmm.
So I've been saying that I need to put together some type of deck and send it to all of the black media and see if I can get coverage.
Hmm.
Um, but again, that's something you have to stop, slow down, sit down, do it, and then send it, which is
Right,
what you're talking about.
right, right.
So
Yeah,
I get that part, but you know, it's got to get done.
yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're definitely right.
So you say that you have a part-time job
Hmm.
last month. What is the hesitation to leave the part-time job?
Like I said, is that um, that security blanket of every 2 weeks knowing that there's a check in the mail, and then the insurance, health insurance too. Um, uh, that's definitely another thing. Um, you know, being out there on your own, you never know when you're going to get that payday. And especially now, I have my family, and I got to, you know, help provide for them. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. For me, trying to leave the Four Seasons was hard. It
Hmm.
was very, very hard. I drug it out a year until I absolutely had to go.
Hmm.
It was tough.
I bet. I bet. And you left on good terms?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I left on good terms. I got severance. I got um, all of my vacation. So as much as I say I left in a very comfortable situation. I didn't just walk out. I didn't just wake up one morning and be like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
No, it was
Yeah.
planned.
Calculated. Yeah.
And I left with a decent amount of money as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And at that time, the business was able to sustain where it was at that moment. I think I had a shop that was 1,200 square feet. It was $700 a month in rent. So that was easy.
Right, right. But now, how many years ago was that? How many years ago was that?
5, but I've been
5
doing
years ago. Oh, wow. Okay.
5. 5. I've been here for 3. I was at the other shop for 8 months, and before that, I was there in that shop for 4 years. So, um, yeah, it's every day. It's a hustle and a struggle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's what I signed up for.
Right. Let me ask you, so how many hours a day are you working? Right.
The thing is, right? I work for Four Seasons Hotel. I work 4 days a week. I made a bunch of money. I didn't go in until 5 p.m. and I always had money in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Now I work for myself. I don't have a day off, and I ain't got no money in my pocket. Like, what am I doing? I love what I'm doing. The upside on this is much bigger, and I have an impact on the world, on the environment, on what I do. So I do it.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think about it every now and then.
Right. Oh yeah.
This
Yeah. Yeah.
stress is a lot.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so did I miss anything?
uh, no. As far as no, no.
All right. So how long have you been blowing glass?
20, 25, 24 years. Sorry.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been, and it like time is just flown by. It's like amazing. It uh for the most part it hasn't felt like a job. It I come into work and like looking forward to what I do.
Would you recommend your son to do this?
Mm. I, whatever that thing is, whatever they want to do, they're gonna blessed to be able to do, yeah, that, but at the same time, uh, just be prepared, no matter how talented you are, to put the work in. And there's no getting around that. There's no getting around it.
Absolutely right. There's never getting around the process.
Mm-mm. Everyone, you have to do it. Yeah, you have to.
Yep. All right. Well, I thank you for your time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Keep on keeping on. I love who you have coming on, and I watched that one with Dave, and man, yeah, keep on keeping on, keep up the good work.
I gotta get more glass people to come on. But yeah, I do it because we all have a journey and a story, and I'm just trying to document, you know, as many as I can.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And if you need some recommendations, I got some
Yeah,
for.
send them over.
Okay, yeah, I will. Well,
All right,
thank you, man. You
thank
take it easy.
you. Congrats on the kid and good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Ciao.